was curious, how did you get into meditation, or when did you start meditating?
Well, I think every child meditates. We know for a fact that children function, their brain pulses are much slower, so they are always in alpha or theta, which is the brain pulse that we get into when we meditate. So you've always done it. It's just whether or not how you use that. Children daydream. They stare. They should be allowed to stare out because something's penetrating and moving into them. I didn't start meditating until I was an adult. The first time I meditated, I was sitting with an Edgar Cayce Foundation group because I was fascinated. I studied all these gurus and all these magicians and these magical people from the time I was very young, that he could go to sleep and then see through beings that spoke through him. He could see you. So I was sitting and I was having my first meditation and we were sitting there and you close your eyes and then all of a sudden this huge bolt of white light struck the top of my head. It was like a column that came down from the top of my head through my body. It blinded me. I could not move. I could not speak. It gave me a very bad headache. I felt that my head had been split open. So my first initial, this is meditation? No, thank you. That was my first experience with that. But my higher self would say, life is meditation. Meditation is life. So you could be driving your car and going, I am meditating. And I learned to do that, I am meditating. And I can actually feel the pulse of my brain slow down. Once I say that, so just that programming, I am meditating. And then, of course, when we go into a meditation, we want to be able to go deeper and deeper. We can be conscious at delta, which is supposedly, completely unconscious. But that's when we're really conscious. That's when we're really expanded and awake. For example, when people are being operated upon and they're they can't feel anything going on here, they often are completely aware of everything. So we want to use meditation as a way of freeing our linear brain, our puny little intellectual brain, and expanding into a level of consciousness that actually gives us the answers, that actually says, here's the inspiration. I mean, how did all those guys do it? Einstein, every day. Jung, every day. I'm taking my nap now. And when he took his nap, when he got up from his nap, aha, I've got the answer. So we want, of course, my higher self says, dream yourself awake. You don't have to go to sleep to do it. But to just have that sense. All of us have sat in caves and sat and meditated. And so anytime you do this, it's going to facilitate some kind of trigger inside your consciousness. This is why I do multi-incarnations, what we call it here, or quote, past life. I don't say past because it's going on now. But so you've already sat in the caves, you already know how to do it, you already know how to meditate and to travel to the stars and go into the nothingness or whatever way you do it. And what my higher self has said is that it's time for us to do it in life. Do it when you're making love, when you're making money, when you're creating something, when you're walking down the street. Come into a state of meditation and it will nourish you. Because meditation is really about opening up to the cosmos and allowing all these energies to support your life. So that's what happened to me. Of course, I did it all the time as a child, like all children do. And I went in and out of my body at will, I did all kinds of things that all children do. It's just that nobody said, oh, you're meditating, oh, great blessings upon you, And I hope that you and your children, you will whisper to them what this is and how you could wield it, what you could create with it, so that we don't have that separation in our life. If I'm a spiritual being, I have to sit in meditation. Yeah, sit in meditation, but wander about. I had a school here, and we started with children who were 4. Walking meditations, laughing meditations, all kinds of ways of viewing meditations of life. So I wouldn't recommend starting meditation the way I did it. I wasn't trying, but that's what I got. That's what I got. And all of life is meditation and a practice. Safira, thank you. One of the things that's so funny is that animals really love meditation. And when I used to meditate with kids here in Galisteo, we'd get 100 to 200 birds that sit on the fence. We'd get cats and dogs. Everybody would come and hang around. We were just sitting outside meditating, and everybody would be attracted. So there's something about going into that octave that aligns us with animals and other beings. And so we're practicing meditation here now. You meditate a lot?
Try to.
No, get rid of the word try. Just say, I am meditating. Because you have a beautiful auric field, a beautiful radiance, and you want to use that radiance. See, when you walk through the world, as we were doing by extending light out with that radiance, people will just align to you. People will suddenly shift to that same energy in them. They will find that stillness. Petra has a beautiful stillness. And it's amazing to me to see how animals and people respond to us. She just walks in the room and everybody kind of goes, and it just becomes still because she carries it. So be aware of it and know that it's your right to wield it, to be in meditation.